Well, that is looking pretty good. Before we get started, I wanted to give a shout out to some people that sent me some stickers. Matt Cremona, of all people, sent me a sticker finally, and I'm so happy to get that. Followed by Crafts with Ellen. She sent me a sticker, and she also sent me some cool origami. Followed by DesertBum Woodworkin. And last but not least is Robert over at Crosscut Creations. And I'll leave links to all their channels down in the description below, and you can go check them out. It's a lot of really great content out there. Those of you who have been around the channel for a while know that one of the things that we do is make steel hairpin legs. And we make them from 6 inches all the way to 36 inches in length. And if you need hairpin legs for your project, you can get them online at steelhairpinlegs.com. And we've been given a fantastic opportunity with Miller's Milling of Dixon, California. They're opening a brand new live edge slab showroom right next to I-80 in Dixon. And they invited us to put a display in the showroom to sell our hairpin legs. So building that display is today's project. We'll start with just a couple pieces of angle iron for the base. And we'll just set one at the edge of the bench here. Now the basis for all our hairpin legs is this 6-inch flat steel corner brace. And I want this rack to hold 4 rows of hairpin legs. So we'll just line these up here. If you actually do a mock-up, it usually ends up better. Okay, and that's pretty good. So this is 38 inches between the legs. So I'll just start by cutting a piece 38 inches long, and we'll tack up the whole base. And then we'll build the upright part off of that. So I have my legs and my 38-inch wide spreader bar. They're on here with these right angle magnet clamps. And now we can just tack this up. So the next step here is to install the uprights, and you can see what I've done here is I've ground that edge off, that corner, so I can clear this weld that was there. Now what a lot of people will do is they'll grind that weld down, and that takes all the strength away from it. This way I will just put an additional weld over the top of it. Okay, for the top of this, I want just a piece of angle iron, so it's kind of like the roof of a house. And then I'm going to weld a piece of sheet metal on there that has my logo information on it. And the angle iron warped a little bit when I welded it, so I made these feet out of 1/4 inch thick steel. We'll just put those in the corners, and that will keep it from rocking. Okay, that's nice and solid. That'll do. Alright, this looks like a pretty good spacing for the hangers. These are going to be the hangers. They're just 2 rods. I'll weld them onto the underside of the angle there, and we'll have enough room for 4 legs on each side of the rack. And here you can see I'm making a spacing jig. All I did was take 2 pieces of plywood and stack them and then drill down the seam. This will give me a way to locate each pair of hanger racks so they'll all look the same. Now the rack is built, and all that remains is to make a sign, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take this piece of sheet metal and weld it onto the top of the angle iron top bar, and then I'm going to frame it in with this square tubing. And since my painting ability is limited to whatever comes out the nozzle of a spray can, after that I'm going to take pieces of steel wire and cut them into letters and tack weld the words hairpin legs on both sides of the sheet metal there. Since the sheet is already cut, the first thing we'll do is cut the square tubing to frame it in. And what I'm doing here is called stitch welding, and that's just putting a bunch of small welds so I don't warp that big sheet of metal. So here's my sign panel, and the fit's pretty decent. Before I weld it on though, I want to put the wording onto it. Okay, that's looking pretty good for size. And here I'm doing the final alignment of all the letter segments that I made off camera. Next I'll come back and tack weld them all into place. Well, that is looking pretty good. Well, that turned out real nice, and that's going to look great in his showroom out there in Dixon, California. Now, if you find yourself in Dixon, please stop in to Miller's Milling and check out his huge inventory of thick-cut live-edge slabs. He has every species you can imagine, from alder to zebra wood. There's something out there for everyone, and if you need hairpin legs, he'll have those too. Now, if you're not anywhere near Dixon, California, and you need hairpin legs, that's no problem. You can always get them online at my website, steelhairpinlegs.com. And if you're watching this video before March 1st, 2018, I want to remind you to go to the video linked above and enter for a chance to win a Morgan No. 6 woodworking vise. This is a beautiful bench vise worth about $150. It is used, but I rebuilt it and repainted it, and it's in really great shape. It would be a welcome addition to any woodworker's bench. So that's all for this week. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click up here to see my last video. Click over here to see something of mine that YouTube thinks you'll like. And have a good one.